Life isn't always a bed of roses. There are times when we face loss, separation, or simply unavoidable distance. These experiences can leave deep wounds, scars etched in our souls, making us feel caught in a relentless emotional storm. Pain, loneliness, and emptiness seem to engulf us, making the act of getting up and moving on feel like an insurmountable challenge. But amidst life's storms, we are not alone. Thousands of years ago, Stoic philosophers explored and shared valuable lessons on how to face adversity, the power of emotional detachment, and the ability to master our minds. They taught us that happiness doesn't lie in controlling what happens externally, but in how we respond to it. Are you ready to break free from the shackles of emotional attachment and embrace the power of personal growth? If so, this video is for you. We'll guide you through 10 Stoic habits that will transform how you approach emotional detachment. Let's start by asking yourself, what truly holds value in our lives, if not peace of mind? Join us as we explore these rules, paving the way for a liberated Stoic mindset. If you find this video helpful, hit the subscribe button and join our community for more enriching content. We'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment below. If you're unsure what to say, simply type "I am the master of my emotions." Let's embark on this journey of emotional liberation together. Rule no one. The power of detachment in love. Have you ever felt like your heart is being manipulated, as if all your emotions are in the hands of the person you love? Have you ever wondered why your joy and sorrow depend so much on how they treat you? This is the time for you to discover the power of detachment in love. Detachment doesn't mean you stop loving or become distant from your partner. Instead, it means you learn to love in a mature and independent way, so that your happiness and peace are not tied to someone else's behavior or emotions. Why is detachment so important in love? Consider the words of the philosopher Epictetus: "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from how we view them." In love, too, you cannot completely control the person you love. You can't decide what they will say, do, or feel, but you can control how you react to those things. When you practice detachment, you are building a love based on understanding and self-reliance rather than dependence and insecurity. Imagine spending hours waiting for a text message from your loved one. When the message arrives, if it doesn't contain the sweet words you expected, you feel sad, disappointed, and doubt their feelings. Your happiness at this point is completely controlled by them. You let your emotions fluctuate with their every action and word. This is not true love, but an emotional dependence, causing you to lose freedom and peace within your own relationship. Try applying detachment to love. This doesn't mean being cold or indifferent, but rather learning to keep your emotions stable and not be swayed by things you can't control. Let your love be built on a foundation of mutual respect and understanding, not control and domination. When you practice detachment in love, you will no longer feel trapped in negative emotions. You won't be waiting for a text to call or a word from the other person to feel happy. Did you understand that your happiness is created by yourself, and love is not a game of emotional tug of war? Self-reliance in love will help you build a stronger relationship where both of you are free to be yourselves, loved and respected in the way each person desires. Rule no. 2. Understanding attachment in love. Have you ever wondered why we sometimes cling to a relationship even when it brings more pain than joy? What makes it so hard to let go of someone, even when we know that continuing the attachment will only break our hearts? This is when we need to understand attachment in love, a factor that can cloud our judgment and cause us to lose our emotional freedom. Attachment in love often stems from the fear of loss, fear of loneliness, and the desire for validation from our partner. When we love someone, it's easy to fall into a state of dependence, making our happiness and peace entirely reliant on them. For example, you might feel insecure if your partner doesn't text you every day, or you might feel hurt when they don't express their affection as openly as before. These emotions are signs of excessive attachment, causing you to live in anxiety and doubt instead of enjoying love in a healthy way. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from how we view them." In love, this means that suffering doesn't come from whether or not the person loves you, but from how you react and feel about their actions. If you place too many expectations on your partner, seeing their love as a measure of your self-worth, then this attachment will become a burden, leaving you constantly anxious and unsatisfied. Imagine a relationship where you and your partner are both independent, where neither tries to control or dominate the other's emotions. Both have their own space to grow and cherish the moment spent together. This is an ideal relationship where attachment is replaced by companionship and mutual respect. In this relationship, love is no longer about possession but about sharing. You don't love to fill your own voids, but love because you truly want to walk the journey of life with that person. When you understand the power of attachment and how to break free from it, you will realize that true love is not about possession or control, but about freedom and respect. You will learn to love without fear of loss, making every moment together more gentle and precious. And that is the true meaning of love, where both are free individuals accompanying each other in happiness and peace. Rule No. 3. The illusion of control in love. Have you ever felt that your happiness depends entirely on how your partner treats you? Have you ever thought that if you try to love and care more, you can make the relationship perfect and they will never leave you? This is a common misconception in love, known as the illusion of control. We often believe we can control the emotions and actions of others, but the reality is quite the opposite. Our ego often drives us to try to control everything around us, including our partner's emotions and reactions. When they don't act or respond as expected, we feel disappointed, anxious, and even heartbroken. For example, you might expect your partner to always text you every night before bed. When this doesn't happen, you might think they no longer love you, and you start trying to control the relationship by making demands, applying pressure, or finding ways to change their behavior. However, the reality is that no one can completely control another person's behavior or emotions. We can only control our own thoughts and reactions. Understanding this helps us accept that love is not a game we can manipulate at will. Freedom in love comes from letting go of the need for control and accepting our partner as they are. When you learn to love without trying to control, you will find yourself more at ease and happier. The relationship will then become more natural, gentle, and sustainable because it is no longer bound by unrealistic expectations and illusions. Rule No. 4. Practice detachment. Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you couldn't imagine life without them? You devoted all your time, mind, and energy to the relationship to the point of forgetting who you are. When the love ended, you felt like your whole world crumbled. You clung to memories, old messages, and the faint hope of reconciliation, even though you knew it would only bring more pain. This is precisely when you need to practice detachment, a crucial principle in Stoic philosophy. As Epictetus wisely said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When applied to love, this means your happiness shouldn't depend entirely on another person. Imagine you're tightly gripping a rope, squeezing it so hard that your hand becomes numb. You're afraid to let go because you don't know what awaits you. But the truth is, letting go doesn't mean you'll fall into an abyss. Sometimes it means you're finally freeing yourself from pain and allowing yourself to seek a more genuine happiness. Detachment doesn't mean you stop loving or caring. It simply means you learn to accept that everything can change, that nothing is permanent. You learn to cherish beautiful memories without letting them bind you to the past. You learn to love yourself enough to know that you deserve happiness with or without that person by your side. When you practice detachment, you'll discover a hidden strength within yourself. You'll realize that true happiness comes from inner freedom, from the ability to accept and adapt to all of life's changes, and then you'll be ready to open your heart to the good things that await you. Rule No. 5. Reframe your thoughts. Changing the way you think can be an incredibly powerful tool for freeing yourself from emotional dependence. It's about perceiving and interpreting situations in a new light, helping you break free from negative thoughts and unhealthy emotional attachments. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By changing your thoughts, you can transform your entire emotional state and outlook on life. Start by identifying the negative thoughts that are holding you back. These might include beliefs like, "I can't live without that person," "I'll never find anyone else," or "my happiness depends on them." These thoughts create a sense of dependence and helplessness, making it difficult to break free from emotional attachments. Once you've recognized these negative thoughts, challenge them by questioning their validity. Ask yourself, is this thought absolutely true? Do I have any evidence to support this belief? Often you'll find that these thoughts are exaggerated or baseless. This realization can weaken their hold on your emotions, paving the way for freedom and inner peace. Rule No. 6. Set healthy boundaries. In love, we often lose ourselves easily, dissolving into our partner and forgetting our individual needs and values. However, true love isn't about complete dissolution, but rather about respect and nurturing for both independent individuals. That's why setting healthy boundaries is crucial. Healthy boundaries in love are like a silent agreement, helping you protect your personal space and show respect for both yourself and your partner. They allow you to say no when you feel uncomfortable, safeguard your important values, and maintain balance in the relationship. For example, you might feel uncomfortable if your partner constantly checks your phone or demands that you report every activity. Or perhaps you don't want to give up your personal hobbies or friendships just to spend all your time with your partner. In these situations, setting clear boundaries will help you protect your privacy and maintain necessary independence. Remember, setting boundaries is not selfish or unloving. On the contrary, it demonstrates respect for yourself and your partner, while also creating a solid foundation for a healthy and lasting love. So when both individuals feel respected and have their own space, love will flourish and grow. Don't be afraid to express your desires and limits. Communicate openly and honestly with your partner about what makes you feel comfortable and uncomfortable. When you bravely defend your boundaries, you're sending a powerful message that you love yourself and deserve respect, and a true love will always cherish and support that. Principle No. 7. True happiness. Don't place your happiness in the hands of others. In life, we often tend to seek happiness from external sources, from external sources, recognition from others, or material achievements. Especially in love, we easily fall into the sweet trap of placing our happiness in the hands of our partner. We believe that only when they love, care, and are by our side can we feel complete and happy. However, the truth is that true happiness cannot come from anyone else but ourselves. When we place our happiness in the hands of others, we are giving them the power to control our emotions and our lives. If they are happy, we are happy. If they are sad, we are also immersed in sorrow. We become dependent on them, and our happiness becomes fragile and easily broken. Imagine you are walking on a sunny path, hand in hand with the person you love. Suddenly, they let go of your hand and walk away. How would you feel? If your happiness entirely depends on their presence, you would feel lost, hurt, and desperate. But if you have built a solid foundation of happiness from within, you will be able to stand strong and continue walking with or without them by your side. And don't misunderstand that love is not important. Love can bring joy, sharing, and wonderful support. But it shouldn't be the sole source of happiness. Learn to love yourself, cherish your own values, and find joy in the little things in life. Wow. When you can create happiness for yourself, you will no longer have to depend on anyone else, and love will become a wonderful gift, not a prerequisite for your happiness. Principle No. 8. Focus on the present. In love, dwelling on the past or worrying about the future can create an invisible barrier, separating you from present happiness. You might find yourself constantly comparing your current partner to your ex, reminiscing about past memories, or fearing uncertainties in the future. These thoughts not only rob you of the joy of the present, but also create unnecessary pressure on the relationship. Learn to cherish every moment with your loved one. Focus on the loving gestures, the smiles, and the happy moments you share. Don't let the ghosts of the past or fears of the future overshadow your present love. By living fully in each moment, you will build a strong love where both of you feel cherished and happy. Remember, love is a journey, not a destination. Every day, every moment is an opportunity for you to nurture and cultivate that love. Don't let negative thoughts steal these precious moments. Live in the present, love wholeheartedly, and cherish every second with the one you love. Because in the end, all we have is the present, and true happiness can only be found in the moments we are living. Rule No. 9. Understanding that everything changes, even your love. Life is a continuous sequence of changes. Everything around us, from nature and weather to the thoughts and emotions of each person, goes through transformations. Love is no exception to this rule. At the beginning of a relationship, we may feel passionate and fervent love, believing that it will last forever. However, over time, these emotions gradually change, and love can transform in various ways that we sometimes cannot anticipate. Initially, love is often enveloped in romance, sweet words, and a sense of novelty and excitement. This is the stage when couples often idealize each other, convinced that they will never part. But in reality, this feeling is only a part of the journey of love. When familiarity replaces novelty, and when life's challenges begin to emerge, love starts to change its form. It may no longer be about intense passion, but could evolve into understanding, compassion, and sometimes even endurance. Accepting that love will change over time helps us to have a more realistic view of our relationships. Instead of fearing and trying to cling to the initial emotions, we can focus on developing the relationship in a sustainable and long-term direction. This means accepting each other's flaws, respecting each other's personal space, and facing life's challenges together. For example, when love enters a stage of stability and responsibility, you may feel that the relationship no longer holds the same intensity of emotions as before. Romantic dates are replaced by dealing with financial issues, raising children, or taking care of the family together. This is when love needs to be nurtured with patience and tolerance, rather than expecting your partner to constantly express love as in the early days. And understanding that everything changes, including love, is not a pessimistic perspective, but a sign of maturity. It helps us appreciate what we have, be ready to face changes, and know how to renew love through different phases of life. By accepting and adjusting to these changes, we learn to love more deeply and completely, overcoming all the storms and challenges of time. Rule No. 10. When one door closes, another opens. Life is always full of surprises, and sometimes endings lead to new and better beginnings. In love, too, if you realize that someone is not the right fit, don't despair or blame yourself. See it as a door that is closed, and trust that the universe is opening up new opportunities for you to to find the person who truly belongs in your life. Don't let disappointment or sadness cloud your vision. Remember that every relationship brings us valuable lessons, helping us grow and understand ourselves better, as well as what we truly seek in a partner. When one door closes, it doesn't mean your journey is over. On the contrary, it's a sign that you're moving closer to your true destination. Open your heart to new opportunities and new people. Don't be afraid to step through the doors that are opening before you. Who knows, behind that door might be true love, someone who will cherish and love you wholeheartedly. Trust in the universe, trust in yourself, and you will find the happiness you deserve.